I've had times when I've wanted to kill myself, things like that, like literally step out in front of trains, like cars and everything, like, and I've been pulled back by people in the street and everything.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34?
Yeah.
And how long have you been homeless for?
About 10 years, on and off. I've had little like bits and pieces here and there in hostels and that, but where is it? You got people in hostels and that like some people shouldn't be in there. They've got like more severe needs and that, mental health problems, stuff like that, or alcohol, drug addictions, things like that.
So for you, how did it initially happen? How did you end up homeless?
Based family breakdown, stuff like separated from my partner and that, like had like bereavement in my family and stuff like that. So yeah, it caused a lot of difficulties and that for me. Like.
And how was your life, Darren, like before you became homeless?
I say like I'm born and raised round here, like round Bethnal Green and that. Like it ain't always been easy growing up. Do you know what I mean? Like Thatcher years and all that sort of stuff and that. Yeah. So like yeah, it's always been hard round here. Austerity and everything. Yeah, it's always been hard.
And were you, before you became homeless, were you working? You had your family?
I'm disabled in my arm and that, like through being attacked on the street and that, so I can't use my right arm anymore. No, this is why like why I was homeless, like being attacked on the street basically. Like so, some of the stuff you go through is like.
Before you became homeless, did you have a job? Were you working?
Yeah, I was doing like roofing, glazing. Like just labouring stuff really, that's all it was going about at the time.
And you know, when you became homeless, how was that first day? Described as that first day when you became homeless.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was like being on the 10th floor, yeah, and they're like the cable snapping on an elevator and just like free falling, that's what it was like. So I mean, from going from like having somewhere to like literally like pavement, literally. So I mean, it was a shock to the system. Like how long, and the longer it goes on in the street, yeah, the more things you get involved in. Because you end up drinking to like warm yourself up, then that becomes a problem and that and I've had my fair share of like problems and that through being out here. Do you know what I mean?
And did your family or your friends try and help you in any way?
They did, but like as time went on, like I said, I was drinking and all that. I was getting aggressive and things like that. So like my family had to like be kind to be cruel, sort of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Cruel to be kind, sorry. So like yeah. Like,
they know you're homeless?
Yeah, they know I'm homeless and that. Yeah, they've got their own lives and that sort of thing. And it's like I don't really like putting myself onto them, really.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? Where they've got their own families and stuff and they're going through their own difficulties and that. So.
What do you find to be the toughest part about being homeless?
The weather. At the moment, COVID-19, do you know what I mean? Like at risk out here, no clean clothing, things like not eating regularly. Because of all the restrictions, there's no food stalls out here now that you're getting like little mobile ones that are going around, but it's not enough to combat like the amount of people that are on the street at the minute. So we're going into double figures now, and it was like something like 300,000 or something like that on the streets of the UK, and that's doubled now.
It's definitely going up.
You know what I mean?
And where do you currently sleep?
In around Bethnal Green, Shoreditch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you miss the most from before you became homeless?
My family life.
Yeah,
my family life, my children and that, yeah.
How many?
Like because of my life and that, and because of my life and being separated and complications and that, yeah, it's all fragmented.
When was the last time you saw your children?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. And what do you miss the most about them?
Just like them laughing, like being around me, waking up to them, jumping on me in the morning and that, yeah, just the little things, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's like missing the years of them growing up and that, do you know what I mean? They're coming into teenagers now, so yeah.
What's the nicest thing someone has done for you while you've been homeless?
There's been days when it's been like pelting down the rain and snow and all that, and it's been hard out and that, like soul destroying, do you know what I mean, sometimes, and people have come up, give me clothing, hot food and drink and that, yeah, like money, so I've had people put me in hotels and that before, do you know what I mean, like, even though it's only a temporary measure, like, it gets you to have a hot shower, you've got a soft bed for the night and that. It's disheartening when you go back out there, but at the time you think, yeah, it's nice and that, but like...
You know, in the past week it's been like freezing weather. How have you been coping in that weather?
Difficult. Like, I've had times when I've wanted to kill myself, things like that, like literally step out in front of trains, like cars and everything, like, and I've been pulled back by people in the street and everything, like, yeah, desperation, like, you get to the point, like, sheer desperation.
And then, you know, being homeless for 10 years on and off, what's the meanest thing someone has done to you?
I've been urinated on when people were drunk on a Friday night out. I've been set fire to in my sleeping bag with lighter fluid. Like I said, I'm disabled in my arm now, where like I've got a scar there all the way up my arm. I had all pins in it, I can't straighten my wrist properly. So I had all metal framing around it. I had my head stamped on and everything, and basically got like sustained injuries and that. They're life-changing injuries to me, man. Through being on the street and just people being drunk and being stupid, like filming me on camera, on phones and everything, and thinking it's funny, it's just hilarious and that, like, do you know what I mean? Just for their personal kicks.
What's the one lesson you've learned while being homeless?
Resilience. You know what I mean? You've got to try and be resilient out here, and do you know what I mean? If you ain't, then you get sucked into things in it, like in and around here. Like I said, addiction and everything is all like you can get drawn into all of it. It's so easy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you want to switch off, and like all them feelings and that, and you get like it's too overpowering, all the emotions of it sometimes, like. And trying to bring yourself up, and the help actually not being there, and like because of the austerity and everything, government not handing out money and that, to actually like combat it, and start putting an end to it. Do you know what I mean?
Have the outreach teams tried helping you?
They do, but look how many people they're trying to deal with. Caseworkers are overworked and everything and that, and do you know what I mean? People are falling through the gaps and that. Some people who need more help than others. Do you know what I mean? Some people, like I said, mental health and everything and that, and they're out on the street and that, it's just, and it's like everything's just been left, and at the minute it feels like they're just putting a plaster over things and that. And what they're doing, they're shifting people off the street, the police, so you're going down side streets, so you can't really be seen out in public and like on the thing is, to make it look like there isn't really a problem. Like that's what's going on. And they're finding homeless people, trying to fine you for throwing a cigarette butt on the floor, which you like, when you're living out on the street, and you ain't exactly got an ashtray there, have you? Things like, you feel like persecuted out here, like even by law enforcement and that, like it gets like that.
That's very disheartening. And if you had a magic wand, Darren, and you could ask for one wish, what would your one wish be?
As well as like having my family back and everything, not just myself, but for everyone to be given a chance and that, to like basically straighten their lives out and that, and be like, and to have the necessary help there and everything, So when you're out here, what you lose is the basic skills of like cooking food, paying bills and all that. People forget about all that when you've been out here for too long. It's like being institutionalised to the street sort of thing. So if you've got somewhere, you get that difficulty, so you need like key workers and that to take you through that, It does happen, but it's few and far between. Do you know what I mean? It's like the most severe cases and that, basically, and that seems to be what they're concentrating on in a minute. But like I said, it's just like a conveyor belt. As they're picking up one and two other, there's more coming along. So it's like, it's just a plaster.
Okay. And what gets you personally through the hard times?
I say my faith sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
That helps you.
I never used to believe in God or anything like that, but there's been times I've called out and that, and do you know what I mean? It's not coincidence that things have happened, do you know what I mean? Like, when I piece it all together, I'm thinking, there's got to be something there.
Reason behind it.
Yeah, I'm not like, I don't go to church or anything, but I've got my beliefs in that, and like I read and everything, and so like,
And if you could go back, is there anything you would change?
I can say being out here, it's taught me to be resilient and that, and the most important thing to me is I haven't lost heart sort of thing. I still hold on to belief in that, like I'm not to give in, do you know what I mean? But not everyone's like that, do you know what I mean? Some people like, you just get hardened to it, do you know what I mean? You've got to be careful it don't turn you like black-hearted and that basically, and you just start being selfish and whatever else and that. And at the minute it's like, communities and all that lot, and they're saying in the papers and everything, that this is happening, that's happening and that, like, it ain't. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're just getting like putting stories in the paper and that. Don't get me wrong, you've got people in the community that are helping that, but it's like the longer this pandemic's gone on for, it's just getting worse now. We're working people and that, possibly ending up like out on the street where they can't pay their mortgages or this, that and the other. So it's getting serious.
So for you, what does your future look like?
My future, I'm hoping, is like I said, just to get my own place. Do you know what I mean? And just work from there and just take it one step at a time and not to try and like push and rush too many things. And I've learned to have not too many expectations, especially when it comes to government and bureaucracy and like red tape and that, like, so it's just try and push along as I can and try and do what I can, right, and that's it.
And then what would your final message be to people watching this video? What would you like them to know about homeless people?
like everyone's got their own problems. Like I said, it's called like entrenched homelessness. That's what they call it for people who've like been on the street for the length of time I've been in. Yeah, and it's like an institution. Like if you put a man in the prison and he's been in there too long, he has to learn to live again. It's the same sort of thing. And you get people that are drunk on the street, or might be abusive and that, yeah, or they're so desperate they're asking out for money and that, yeah, and when they're not given something they can become aggressive and things like that. And it's just to appreciate them people with like on the pavement, yeah, their problems are massive. Do you know what I mean? And like not to take it personally and that, and their help is appreciated and that, believe it or not, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, try and help as much as you can really and that, like, do you know what I mean?
Thank you so much.